to the first episode of Flower Breeders. This will discuss the history of a specific flower breeder, or general history of breeding of different flowers. In this episode, we'll talk about Ernst Benary. The firm of Ernst Benary Smithschild sells a very large amount of flower and vegetable seeds that acts as more than 50% of the total output of the German horticultural industry as of the writing of this book in 2014. The company's founder was Ernst Benary, who was born in 1819 and died in 1893. He was born a Jew in the city of Kassel, which had poor positions prior to the emancipation in 1806. The initial rules within German society barred the Jewish folk from any job that was not money-lending or menial occupations, as they were not allowed to own land or farm. This was ended after Napoleon's edict within Germany. Ernst Benary was the son of a banker, and although, due to a financial trouble, the father died penniless, his brothers got him into an apprenticeship with a nurseryman called Friedrich Haig due to Ernst Benny's interest in plants and natural history. And so Ernst moved to Fernigia, a horticultural center of Germany in the 1800s. Mr. Haig was the first German nurseryman to introduce and breed different types of cacti. The firm Catten Haig is still in existence within Germany and is still run by the same family. Although a Jewish person in horticulture was surprising, Mr. Haig accepted Ernst and afterwards trained with Mr. Haig for quite some time. In the 1830s, he moved to England and France to further qualify his skills, as well as Belgium. After marrying the daughter of a successful merchant, he was able to open his own business in Erfurt, 1843. Afterwards, his firm, Ernst Benary Schirmerstock, issued his first catalogs in 1847 in both French, English, and German. Ultimately, he maintained his Jewish culture within the business. His children, on the other hand, converted to Christianity and moved on from the Jewish community. Initially, Ernst Benary only sold vegetable seeds, but later began experimenting with hybridization of ornamental plants, crossbreeding such plants such as lichenous species, as seen on the screen, but also made crossbreeds to breed different varieties of lobella, but in time he died. His sons took the reins of the business, continuing the old tradition of crossbreeding plants to breed new cultivars. In 1909, the Benary Company introduced the first F1 hybrid begonia, called Prima Donna. The Benary Company also sold Rigor Mendel, the pea seeds used in the early genetics experiments. Margot Benary continued this business over time as well in the 1960s, and began working on breeding different varieties of African violets, being one of the first to do so. As a result, the firm won prizes year after year within major garden shows. As the Benary firm grew and expanded, it eventually controlled 20 outhouse companies, miles of open fields, and 6,000 forcing frames all over the area of about 50 hectares, as well as 14 farms in different parts of Germany, as well as 100 seed producers were under contract from various countries to the Benary organization. This company also pioneered the act of providing healthcare to its employees long before it became mandated into law. Going back to the 1930s, Ernst Benary's grandson, also called Ernst, was a friend with a Chicago flower breeder called Mr. Ball. The friendship had to be put on hold due to World War II happening, although this picked up again after the war ended. Going back to the 1890s, sweet pea was picking up quite a bit during that time period. The Benary organization had by that point bred 37 different breeds of sweet pea seed in 1893, some of which can be seen right here on the image above, which depicts a catalog from 2006 showcasing some of the varieties that have been popular since that time period. Back to World War II, even though such a period of time has passed, the Nazi government still considered them Jewish, but due to the fact that the townspeople and senior employees stuck up for the firm and their leadership, and the fact that they still provided vegetables for the German forces, and so the Benary family was allowed to keep their business going, as well as their lives. All men were drafted into the German armed forces, including Heinz Benary, Heinrich Benary's only son. Heinz never came back home, unfortunately, and in 1943, they mourned his passing. At the end of the war, when the Americans took control of the territory, the remaining Benary still thrived, but that lasted less than 3 months, and ultimately, Phoenicia was abandoned to the Russians. As it was now a Soviet sector, the last male heir to the Benary firm, Frederick Benary, managed to finagle his way out of East Germany and into West Germany to rebuild the company. And although it was difficult, Ernst Benary II managed to, with Frederick, managed to rebuild the business, and Ernst Benary II died at the age of 94, seeing the success renewed. And as of 2014, the same Benary family still holds the reins of this company. And that about covers everything. Thank you for watching.